Welcome to a guide for riding the new San Francisco Central Subway for the blind and visually impaired. My name is Ryan Dewar. I am blind, and I would like to take you on a journey to each of the 4 new stations of the system in order to explore them and get great detail about how to find your way around each of the new stations. The Central Subway will replace the T-Line as we know it today. It'll have a new alignment starting at 4th and King, continuing to Brannan and 4th, Yerba Buena, Union Square, and Chinatown, ending at Washington Street and Stockton Street. As I make my way from 4th and King up to 4th and Brannan to start our journey, I would just like to remind everybody that these explorations are my personal explorations and are not official information from Muni or the city of San Francisco, though I really do hope that they provide a perspective for other people who travel via guide dog or cane. As we approach the intersection of 4th and Brannan, the location of our first stop, I would also like to point out that all of the streets along the new alignments that are above ground have received audible pedestrian signals. This includes 4th and Townsend, 4th and Brannan, and 4th and Bryant. Let's begin our journey. Okay, so here we are actually on the platform, and one thing to note here at the end is that this platform is central and therefore needs to be entered in the middle of Brannan Street, which is back in this direction for those of you who can see it. And for those of you who cannot, this platform only has one entrance and exit. It is central, so when you cross Brannan Street, you cross it on the north side of the street, and in the center between the sets of tracks is where you will find a ramp to head up. There is no set of domes indicating where the ramp itself is versus the tracks, so use your cane or target your dog on the center between the tracks. On this side of the station, which is the far north side, this is where the northbound train will stop. When it's heading south, it will pull all the way as far south as Brannan. This here is an emergency gate. This is to only be used in an emergency and has stairs on the other side. It's a push gate. It will lead you directly down into train traffic, which is why you don't want to use it. And this is only to ever be used in an emergency. So that is the new station here at Brannan, and we will get off at the next station and see what we find there. Okay, so out in front of us here, the direction I'm currently facing, this is 4th Street. This station has a plaza. It's the only entrance. And over here to my left, this is Clementina. And so that is a small side street. If I turn back here, that was the north side of the station. So on this side here, where that skateboarder is heading, that is, oh wow, okay. There it is, rolling right over the emergency exit. That thing you heard them roll over was the other emergency exit for the station. It's a platter in the floor. So this way is Folsom. And so if you're ever walking this direction, you're looking for the entrance, it's just south of Clementina on the west side of 4th Street, or in other words, the southwest corner is where the entrance is. As you approach, the elevator is going to be on the left side. There are escalators, and there's a central stairwell leading down between the 2 escalators down to the lobby level. And when we get down to the lobby level, I'll explain a little bit further. So we've gotten to the bottom of the stairs. I use the central stairs between the 2 sets of escalators. When you arrive at the bottom, the fare machines are going to be directly ahead against the wall, directly across from the escalators. To actually enter the station, we need to actually turn left and head over towards the fare gates. So you'll make a 90-degree turn to your left and then head straight into the to the fare gates on the mezzanine level here. Okay, so these are the fare gates. If you ever need to talk to an agent, there is an agent location here as well. And so you should be able to find them fairly easily. But I'm gonna go ahead and head through these gates. So now that we've entered the actual mezzanine level, we are at the southwest corner of the level. Over to the central location right here is the escalator, which means if you head straight ahead and slightly to your left, in the center of the room is an escalator that leads down. As I face north along 4th Street, we're in an alignment with 4th Street. There is nothing really of interest going up here, except in the center of the room is the elevator. And at the far end is a set of stairs. If you're not using the escalators, or if you're using a service dog like Pumpkin down here, you would want to walk all the way to the far end and then find the stairs and walk down. At this station, the west side heads south towards Brannan Street and eventually 4th Street. The east side platform, or the one on your right if you were to go down this escalator, or the one on your left if you go down the stairs, will lead towards Union Square and Chinatown. Okay, so don't get confused if you ever come down here and you're looking for the elevators. They're actually in the center and on both sides. The idea is that when you do come down and you find this location, it's in the center of the platform. It is between the stairs and the escalator. So if you hear the escalator and you're using a cane, make sure you trail the glass on the right side to the immediate left of the escalators if you want to find the elevator. It is, again, in the dead center, and there is a hall that crosses over the platforms that leads to the other side of the lobby here. And if you look at this lobby, there's really not anything functional in this direction or the other. So it's not necessary to really come onto this side. However, there are emergency exits at the far end here. But that's just a train that's crossing below us heading south towards Brannan. But this is the elevator, and I've got Pumpkin with me, and because we don't have our booties, we're just going to take the elevator down to the platform instead of all the stairs. And here we are down on the platform. There are the stairs, and we actually have an approaching train which we're going to jump on. On to our next stop. Okay, so we just got off this train here, and we are now at the Union Square station. The first thing I noticed was that there are these tactile domes right outside the doors. I'm not sure if those continue or not, but we'll find out as I explore this station. Again, I haven't been here yet, so I'm going to go explore it, and then we'll talk about it. On my way up, I counted 122 stairs. Unless you're really interested in a workout, I wouldn't recommend it. But there are escalators that will take you all the way down there. All those 122 stairs. There's also an elevator that is out in the middle of the platform. We'll go find that in a moment. That will also take us back down to the platform. The escalator bank is both at the north side and the south side of the station. This is the north side. So I'm standing here on Stockton Street. To my left is Stockton, and ahead of me is Geary. The reason why I'm doing this is because this entrance is a bit harder to find than some of the other ones. Let's go ahead and walk forward. Pumpkin's doing the guiding. We get to the corner. Yep. And so here's Geary. What we're actually going to do is make a right. Pumpkin, right? Hop up. Let's go. Forward. We're going to head this way. This is Geary. So this is east of Stockton. And strangely enough, it's not in an easy to understand location. But right here, it's not easy to find. Up, up. But this is the entrance here. Okay, so one of the things to explain about this entrance is that you can find it by looking for a very cavernous space. And if we walk into it, hold on a second, Pumpkin heel. Forward. As you walk into it, you'll hear that it's actually a bit more echoey than other spaces, and so this is a really good indicator that you've found the correct location. This is the top of the stairs. This particular set of stairs is 51 stairs, so again, if you don't like stairs, there is a nearby elevator. But for now, we're going to go ahead and head down these stairs and go back, and we're going to go down to the mezzanine level and explore that a bit more. I want everybody to be aware of the fact that at the bottom of the stairs, there is one additional step, as you can see here. So if you were coming down 5 feet from the bottom of the stairwell where you thought you were done, you are not. There's one more stair. This is a very unusual feature, could easily trip you up, and definitely is notable. And again, this is at the corner of Stockton and Geary. So if you use that entrance, be aware that there's this extra step. In fact, it's very clear Muni's aware of this because they've got a cone. They're warning people about it. I would honestly describe this as a super design flaw, but it is what it is, and there is an elevator if you'd like to avoid it. So let's continue. So after heading down a short ramp, we'll find the escalators that we originally found and the 122 stairs that we used to get up here. And so again, the way you'll know that you're heading in the right direction is that the ground slopes down towards the stairs and escalator. So these are the fare gates, again, at the stairs that we came up. And again, if you were coming from the Brannan Street station, or later on, 4th and King station, heading north towards Chinatown, these would be the stairs that would be the closest to where you got off the train. When you head up here, if you continue straight and find the ramp that heads directly ahead and slightly to the right of the stairs, it leads up to Geary Street, where we already discussed how hard it is to find the entrance and also that step of doom at the bottom of the stairs. But again, as I face these fare gates, if you come out of the fare gates and you make a left, and I mean it's a hard left, it's a full face full 180 degree, totally turn around and follow the wall back. So you came up and basically make a U-turn around the wall and follow it. There's a path over here, and this path leads us to Powell Station along the south side of the station, or along the south side of the platform. So as we go this way, we can keep following this all the way down, and then we'll check that out. We'll check out that crossover point over to Powell Station, where you can connect to Muni in a moment. So this tunnel keeps going and eventually will lead us to Powell Street Station. This is the south end of it, which I've not explored yet, and seems to have the same escalator on both sides and a central stair. As I turn around full 180 degrees in the direction we were originally traveling, heading towards Powell Station, there are fare gates. So if you're looking for this side, the fare gates, if you're coming from Powell Station, will be on your right side, with the bypass hall being on your left. Wow, this station is huge. It's just huge. So we've just entered through the fare gates as we're walking down from Powell Street. And when you enter the fare gates from the Powell Street entrance, there's a very long walk ahead. It's a bit longer than you'd think, but what I can hear ahead of me is the escalators. And I already explored this. It flattens out here, and so you're walking down a very slight slope until you get here, and then there's a point where you have to make a decision. There are escalators to the left and to the right, and a central staircase leading all the way down to the platform. We said the north side was 122 stairs. I'm not really sure how many stairs there are on this side, but for this demo, I think 122 stairs up on the north side of the station was certainly enough for me. So I'm going to assume it's probably very similar, though. And remember, this train had to go underneath Powell Street's mezzanine, Muni, and BART levels. And so it's actually heading uphill from here to get back out from underneath. When we go under here, it's incredibly deep. That's why it's 122 stairs deep. Let's go explore more of the station and the way to Powell Street Station. So something else that's interesting to point out about the Union Square station, the elevators are in the middle of the platform, like I already explained. However, when you come off of them, this is sort of a warning and also a, hey, this is really cool. So there's elevators here, but when you come off of them, if you happen to look down, That's the platform down there. This is structural glass I'm standing on, and that's all the way down to the platform. Funny enough, Pumpkin doesn't seem to care either, but yeah, it's a pretty cool feature to add, and for some people, it's probably going to freak them out. Okay, so I'm at the north side of the Union Square station at the fare gates, and something important to point out is that if you come down the Geary entrance and your intent is to find the elevator, you need to go on the left side. If you follow the left wall, you will eventually find the fare gates that are specific to the elevators at this station. That's unique to this station. On the other side, on the right, that will continue to bypass all the way down to Powell Street, but that is the only side that does so without the fare gates being in your way. Of course, there are multiple crossover points, but if you want a clear path all the way to Powell Station, take the right side when you come down the Geary stairs. And on the left side, if you're looking for the elevator, just follow the left wall, and about halfway down the platform, you'll find it. So like I mentioned, there are fare gates that are specific to the elevators, and if we're thinking about this from cardinal direction point of view, they would be on the east side of the station. If you're heading down from the Geary stairs, it's on your left side, as I already explained. If you're heading in here from Powell Station, trail the wall on your right. There's an equal set of fare gates for both sides, and then the elevators will be found in the center. And like we already had a chance to check out, structurally they have some very interesting glass panels in front of them. For those of you who get vertigo, don't look down. So another thing I wanted to point out was that along the wall, this stuff, it's funny, if you probably won't want to do this obviously when the station becomes very heavily used, but right now you can check out this wall, and the way that it's set up is it's got all these really cool ribs and sort of column shapes, because this is the shotcrete that's used to, you know, kind of hold up the walls. And so structurally, this is just a, you know, really interesting exposure of what this, you know, bored out area really is. It's neat. Obviously you don't want to check out the walls in every public transit station, but hey, when they're brand new and only open 2 weekends, so far it's just checking out new construction. One more thing to point out about these walls. If you were coming from the Powell Street side and you were wondering at what point you've entered the station, not only are there concrete walls, but there's kind of I would call it a little step up and a grate. This is likely for drainage or drippage. So it's actually a really interesting thing that is not in the other stations, and makes it very clear that this is a different station, that you've crossed the border into it. And if you're trailing the right wall, there is a sign over here with a QR code that describes the art installations that are at each station and the background behind them. I can put that link up as well. But the QR code is in the bottom right corner. It is a tactile sticker in that you can feel that there is a sticker there. But it was simple enough for me to scan with my phone and find out more, which is why I'm able to tell you about the sign. We are at the corner now of Market, Stockton, and 4th Street. Take a look around. It's a pretty busy spot. But directly behind us over here is the entrance that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, the entrance to BART. This is before you get to the mall entrance. This is the one closer to the corner of 4th and Market. We're gonna head back down there and then show you how you actually get from there through to the new Central Subway. It is the way to transfer between these stations. Okay, so let us orient ourselves. To the left at the bottom of the staircase is the fare machines, and on the right here we have the entrance to BART. What we need to do is go from here off to our right, around BART, and down a fairly long hallway. So I'm going to go ahead here, and we've got Pumpkin. Pumpkin's going to be our guide, and we're going to head that way now. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, Pumpkin, forward. Pumpkin, right. Forward. Hop up. Forward. Nope, we're not going to BART. Hop up. Nope, forward. Good girl. Right.
Is that David?
Forward. Sorry about that. Nope, up, up. We're not going to BART. Come on, Pumpkin, left.
Oh, sorry.
Up, up.
Oh,
Sorry about that. Excuse us. Forward. Good girl. Okay. Pumpkin loves BART and loves finding fare gates because fare gates equal food. So now she's like, why am I not getting food? So as we continue here, you'll hear more BART gates on your right. Forward. And now we get into this big long hallway. It's very echoey in here. And it definitely has a mood change. You can hear it get quieter. Pumpkin left. Okay. And so here we are now in this new lobby space. And if we head to our left, cool. Okay. So let's see, forward. Good. Yep. There we go. So now we're in the transitional tunnel that leads us to the fare gates. Yep. Okay. Good girl. Find the reader. Yes, good girl. Yes! That's what pumpkins do. Now, these fare gates right now are free, but eventually we will tag on through. And from here, as you saw earlier, we just keep going straight ahead.
Fourth and Brannan, I'm glad you made it.
Yep. And when we get to the bottom of the ramp, this is where we make a decision on whether to go down the escalators or the stairs. So let's discuss more about this when we get to the bottom. We'll check out the platform. Okay, so one thing I want everybody to note is that on this platform, it's incredibly long. And if you just came in from the Powell Street side and came down the escalators, the right side heads towards Chinatown. The left side heads back towards Brannan and Fourth, or later, Fourth and King, actually. So the platform is particularly long. I'm going to take a walk down and see if we can find the elevators that we never did find. But so far, pretty cool exploration of this place. So here comes a train into the station. And let's see how far it goes. It goes pretty far down there, doesn't it? So, yep. There it is. Okay, and just like the Yerba Buena station, the elevators are mid-platform, and they're on both sides. So there's one on the left side and on the right side, and there's a corridor between them that bridges the two platforms together. And so either elevator will take you up to the concourse level, and that is midway between the escalators on the south side and the escalators on the north side. So it's a pretty uniform station, actually. Okay, so I want to demo something really cool about this particular station I did not notice at the last station. And so now I'm going to have to go back and double check over at Yerba Buena if they have this feature. So you can see my cane, and as I'm walking ahead here, following the edge of the platform, aha! There are these additional truncated dome mats, and these actually line up with the door entrances for these trains. So unlike pretty much any other Muni platform I've seen in the city, this is the indicator of two things. Number one, where are the doors on the trains? And number two, the only trains that are likely to be showing up are the new trains, because the old trains have their doors in slightly different locations. So this is not the stop we thought we were going to end up at, because there was some San Francisco Fire Department activity. Apparently an alarm went off at the Chinatown station. So as we could not go to Chinatown station, I thought we'd check out one other thing. This is the corner of Ellis and Stockton. And over here to the left, the immediate left, is where the Apple store used to be. And behind me is that entrance that none of us have been able to use for years. this leads down to the hallway between Powell Station and the new Central Subway station. And so if we head down there, it's another way to get to the Central Subway very quickly, also connecting Powell Street Station to this location as well. So let's just go ahead and head down there, and I'll show you what the perspective is when we get to the bottom of the stairs. And so when we get to the bottom of the stairs and we face the hallway, to our left is the Central Subway station, and over here to our right is the hallway leading over to the Powell Street station. This is kind of a nice in-between, and for those of you who have been here before, this was that long hallway that used to lead to seemingly nowhere until you popped out near the Apple Store. And this is at the corner of Ellis and Stockton. So this is also where the new fare gates are for the Central Subway entrance.
Transfer here to Powell Station for J, KT, M, and N lines. Transbordar aquí para la estación de Powell para las líneas J, KT, M, y N. Hindi dito patungo sa Powell Station para sa J, KT, M, at N. 請喺呢度為 Powell 站轉打 J、KT、M 同 N 線列車。
So if you're looking for this entrance and you're using some visual cues, I'll just give you a quick view of what that will look like. So if you're trying to head up towards the corner of Stockton and Ellis, which, just to remind you, is Stockton, Ellis, and Fourth and Market, this is the location to head up.
Attention Muni riders, Chinatown Station is currently closed due to San Francisco Fire Department activity. Muni riders, please consider the 8, 30, and 45 until it's resolved. Thank you for your patience.
And that is why we didn't head over to the Chinatown station yet. Well, since I had to take a break, I settled on Shake Shack for dinner. So I'm in the mall right now. This is the Westfield San Francisco food court, and I just decided that I'm stopping here at Shake Shack to grab a bite before we continue our journey. I guess the alarm that occurred at the Rose Peck Chinatown station was a false alarm, so we'll continue our journey in just a moment. Okay, and so we're gonna exit the mall now. Okay, back we go after our tasty snack back to Muni. So we're exiting the mall, and we're now in the BART station. We're going down 2 ramps, and then out ahead of us to the right, good girl, forward. So from here now, we just head back towards the BART fare gates. We make a slight left around them. Pumpkin will be super awesome, super smart about it. Good girl. So now we're heading down that long hall again. By the way, this is the advantage of getting a guide dog. It's so fast, but also tries to predict every last thing you're gonna do. So there we go. Here we go. Pumpkin, reader. Let's find that reader. Come on. Good girl. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah. I suppose we need to burn off some calories after eating all that, so let's take the stairs down. Stairs, Pumpkin. Good girl. Okay, ready? Forward. Good girl, forward. Okay, so 93 steps on that side. The other side apparently is even steeper. Crazy. Forward. Forward. And we will wait here until we get the next subway. Okay, so here comes our train to Chinatown. Let's see if it stops at these door markers. Since we're just going to the next station, why don't we just stand here and wait? Okay, so here we are now. We're at Chinatown Station, and I am at the far north side of the station. This station is set up to be in shuttle mode, or in other words, trains may stop on either platform because this is currently the end of the line, and they don't continue ahead and turn around like they do at some other stations. At this station, they literally pull in, stop, and then go the opposite direction. So if you're looking to go to Union Square or anywhere else along the line, either train that's down here at the time is a perfectly good train to be taking. So hopefully that's a good explanation of the platform layout. What's directly ahead of me right now at the far north terminus here is the escalators. They are actually side by side because this platform is a bit thinner than the other two underground platforms. In the middle is the elevator, which has entrances on both sides of a pillar in the center. And then at the far end are stairs. And so, again, unlike the Yerba Buena station, which has the elevators in the middle and the escalators on the south side and the stairs on the north side, this station has the escalators on the north side, the elevators in the center, and the stairs on the south side. So when you come off in the direction of travel of the train on the way up from the other stations, you'll want to find what would technically be the back of the train in the direction you are traveling on, and that's where you'd find the stairs, or walk forward to the front of the train in the direction you traveled, and that would be where the escalators are. And of course, like I mentioned, the center is the elevators. So here we are at the bottom of the staircase. If you're coming around the staircase, make sure that you are looking for posts on the floor. So there's architectural glass on either side of this staircase, and it's angled at a 45-degree angle. It's not perfectly vertical, so they're trying to make kind of a little bit of an artistic statement here, which is nice, but they've had to place bars across the bottom of the stairs to indicate that, hey, you might want to watch your head here. And so, of course, people who can see aren't going to walk into the bars, but if you're using a cane, make sure you're actually using your cane, because you could hit the bars with your knees and then crack your head on the glass, especially if you're tall. So it's definitely something to be warned about. So I'm now at the ticketing level, and I'm standing directly in front of the elevator, facing the elevator doors. To my immediate left is the bank of escalators on the north side, and to my right is the staircase that leads down to the platform as well. From the elevator door, turning around 180 degrees, we've got the fare gates and the customer service center, which is basically just the customer service box. And we will then head over to the lobby and talk about the lobby outside of the fare gates. So I'm just outside the fare gates here, and the way I want to describe this is, if you take the escalators up and you've just gotten off the train, you would take a right and then follow along a wall that will be on your right. The fare gates will then be on your right side. You make a right through the fare gates and you end up in this lobby. When you end up in the lobby, on your immediate left are a set of stairs and escalator. The escalators flank the stairs on either side. The stairs are central. And to the left of those is a set of double elevators, currently not in service yet, but those would also take you up to the street level. If you were coming up from the stairs, meaning at the south side of the entrance to the station, and in shuttle mode, of course, that means that towards the back of the train, until, of course, it's departing, then it's suddenly the front of the train. You will take the stairs up, you will make a left, you will trail the left wall. Ahead of you will be another wall, you'll make a right, and then on your trailing left side will be these same fare gates. You'll make a left through the fare gates, and then, of course, make a left to either the elevators or walk ahead a bit and go to these stairs, and the stairs in the center and the escalators flanking it on either side. So here's something else I just learned about. I'm facing the fare gates right now, and I'm against a blank wall between the escalators, which are off to my right here. But to my left is a very large piece of metal tactile art. And it's very public, and it's very touchable, and it's very cool. So as I'm reaching out here, it's very interesting. It has like it almost feels like leaves coming off of branches. I'm not sure what it really represents yet because I haven't, spent the time to check it all out, but it's very cool. It has depth. It's kind of anchored to the wall here. And yeah, it's super cool. And it goes all the way down to the fare gates. And it's a pretty big piece of public art. I think it's really cool to see that there's tactile public art at this transit station. It's fantastic. And I'll have to learn more about this art, and maybe we can all find out together. Somebody else on YouTube, I'm sure, will publish something. It'll be really cool. But for now, that's what's on this level. So this is another thing. These are the ticket machines. And if you do need a ticket, when you come down the escalators, make a U-turn. Basically, go off to your right, then make another right. And they are against a wall that is in perfect parallel with the fare gates themselves. So if you're coming off the train, you need to refill just from the fare gates, make a hard left, and then trail the wall on your left. If you're coming down the escalators, make a right, find the fare gates, turn right, and then again trail the wall on the left, and you'll find these ticket machines. These are going to fill up your Clipper card. So when you get to the top of the escalators, if you walk up those stairs, it's 98 stairs. My heart rate's probably 130 right now going up those things. Okay, so here we are at the it's not quite street level. It's like a bit below street level, but think of it like a kind of a landing, and not just like the landing like the stairs were, where there's like 98 of these stairs here, but a large landing. And so just like the downstairs lobby, this side also has a giant tactile art. So when you come down the stairs from either the street level or are about to make your full 180 and go down the remainder of the stairs of the escalators, if you take the time to go against the back wall, there's a huge piece of tactile art. It's very similar to downstairs, but if you really like to check it out in detail, it's pretty big and very much completely accessible for getting a tactile experience of this really cool metal art. Okay, so here we are. This is Washington this way, and this is Stockton here. As you can see, the buses going by there. So we are at the southwest corner of Stockton and Washington, and the actual entrance to the station is back this way. And so it's really open. It's another one of these really nice big open plazas. Pretty simple, real easy. And one of the ways that you can identify this, if you're looking for it and you can't see it, you can hear all the people echoing in there. It's a nice echo chamber, so it makes it real easy to identify where this space is. So yeah, let's just go ahead and head back in. Okay, so we're up at street level, and we already explored the corner of Washington and Stockton. And this is a bit further south on the street, though uphill. And if you walk uphill a bit, you'll find that there is a second entrance to the station. So as you're walking uphill, I'm walking downhill right now just to kind of demonstrate here. So walking downhill, if I were coming from downhill and I turn to the right, or if you were coming from, let's say, Union Square, you'd make a left. There is a kind of an alcove here. And in this alcove, which you'd think it kind of feels like an alley, to be honest, but it gets much more concave when you can hear the ceiling enter overhead. And now on the right is a ramp, and on the left, I imagine, I haven't been over here yet, let's see. Yep, so yeah, so there's stairs here that lead down, and it leads back into that same lobby space that we just came up from. So it's a really large open space here at the beginning, and since This is being shot on a different day, which I haven't explained up till now, but I'm kind of splitting this filming across a few days here. Let's go ahead and go explore the roof because the roof happens to be open today. One more detail about coming downhill on Stockton if you are coming from Union Square direction or from the south heading north. As you're walking downhill, when you're looking for this exit, what you might find is some stairs that lead up to the roof. Once you get past that set of stairs, there's actually a ramp that slopes down towards the station. And so it's easy if you find a ramp that leads down and has a very cave-type sound to it as you're entering. Like I said, it's like an alley. You are heading in the right direction to get into the station. Okay, so I am now actually up on the roof of the building. It's actually the lobby entrance, that huge area I was talking about downstairs that had two different places you could come in from, either at the corner of Washington and Stockton or a little bit further south on Stockton. This is actually the rooftop, and so for those of you who can see what we're looking down onto now, this is actually Stockton Street, and over here to the left is Washington Street. And so this is a really cool, very open public plaza. Not too much going on here, but if we flip around, you can see that on this side we got some seating in the middle, and it's just kind of a big open space that's partially covered so people can hang out here. I'm not sure what the city has planned for it. I hope they actually use it for some really cool like local events and things, but man, this is neat, and this is a good use of this public space. Okay, and if you're up here and you're looking for it, there is an elevator that will take you back down to street level. So there is an elevator that can take you directly up here if this is the space you'd like to come and enjoy, or just, chill out after a subway ride and take a break, maybe, get something local to eat around here and have a seat and just enjoy the space. So again, when you're in the lobby, when you've come out of the fare gates or heading towards the fare gates, the elevator is underneath these escalators to the left. So you want to follow along the right side if you're going to go for the elevator, and you'll want to follow the left side if you want to find the fare gate, the ticket machines. And the elevator can also take you up to the rooftop during rooftop hours. So just one more little note about this whole setup here. Now we're going to go ahead and head back downstairs. Okay, so we've just come down the elevator with Pumpkin, and it's in the center. The other shuttle platform, this is the platform I did come off on when I came here, and of course you can see over here there's another train ready to take us all the way back to Brannan and Fourth. So let's go ahead and hop on and head back home.
So now that we've had a chance to explore all of the stations, let's go ahead and take a ride back to Fourth and Brannan. And along the way, I'll summarize each of the stations and their general layout. Chinatown Station is the northmost terminus of the Central Subway. It has a central platform aligned north to south. Escalators are found on the north side of the platform. Elevators in a single pillar back-to-back are found in the center. A staircase is found on the south side of the platform. On the ticketing level, there is a set of dual escalators with a central set of stairs leading up to a landing level that then also has a set of dual escalators and central stairs. This leads out to Washington and Stockton Streets. This station also features a rooftop garden. Union Square Station consists of a central platform aligned north to south. On both ends of the platform are dual escalators flanking a central staircase. In the center of the platform are dual elevators, which also on the ticketing level have their own fare gates. You can find the entrance to this station at the southeast corner of Stockton and Geary or the northwest corner of Ellis and Stockton. This is also your opportunity to transfer to the Powell Street Station by exiting the south end of the platform and following the corridor to the Powell Street Station. As we cross Market Street, let's consider that the street grid also changes here. So technically all of the alignments are now northwest to southeast, but I'm going to continue to refer to them as north-south, just to simplify things. Yerba Buena station consists of a central platform aligned north to south. On the north end of the platform are the stairs. In the center of the platform are the elevators. On the south side of the platform are the escalators. This station has fare gates on the ticketing level at the southwest corner. You will also find a dual set of escalators with central staircase leading up to a plaza. This station can be accessed at the southwest corner of Clementina and 4th Street. Fourth and Brannan station consists of a central platform aligned north to south. You can only enter this station from the south side of the platform. The entrance can be found between the north and southbound lanes of 4th Street on the north side of Brannan.
Simple as that. We're back. This is where we started it, at Brannan and 4th. And eventually we will get here, just stop for a moment and then head on down to 4th and King, at which it'll continue into Mission Bay. And I recorded that entire last segment to specifically illustrate how fast you can get from Chinatown to here. It's completely crazy. The idea that you can get from Chinatown to here in that short a time, I don't know. I think that might be worth $2 billion, don't you? For all the people it's going to serve, it's a heck of a lot faster than the 30 was. This is amazing. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. I'm going to hopefully be able to put more information into this as time goes on, but man, this is a great thing, especially if you are a transit user. So Thanks for watching, and I hope all the tips, especially on navigating as a blind person around the new stations, is really useful. And maybe I'll do this again the next time we add another subway line. Thanks for watching.